Okay, there's a ton of information I just keep stumbling upon. Um, the number 49 in gold, and I thought of the 49ers, California, the Golden State or whatever, the 49. So the Golden State Warriors are the best team in the NFL, NBA right now. And so I kind of looked them up, and compared it to Space Jam and whatnot. And anyway, so the Golden State Warriors, they are 61-13 right now. That means they have the potential of, or they have 8 games left. And my guess is that they're gonna win. They're gonna end the regular season off with 66 wins, because 1966 is 49 years ago. So that's my guess. They'll probably rest players or whatever, and they'll end up with 66 wins. Anyway, it gets really interesting because, so remember I talked about how Westbrook was 0 and the Monstars and Space Jam, and that I think that whoever goes to the NBA Finals, it's going to be someone with the number 23 on their team, and then also the other team's going to have number 0. And most likely, the Golden State Warriors are going to play the Thunder with Westbrook in the first round. So I don't know who's going to win it all. It makes me wonder about Golden State. But I also think the Thunder have 42 wins. So I'm assuming they're going to finish with 45 wins, be the 8th seed in the playoff, and then they're going to play Golden State, and it's probably going to go 7 games or something, to pretend to be Space Jam. Who knows? But it's kind of weird that I talked about that. Anyway, the reason I'm saying this is Golden State has a player, number 23, Draymond Green. So 23, Green actually adds up to 49, the word green. And he played for Michigan State, the big Valentine team that I've talked about a bunch. So we got 23, Green is 49, and he played for Michigan State. So anyway, they're they actually play in the San Francisco Bay Area, or Oakland, and they used to be called the San Francisco Warriors way back in the day. But anyway, this year is their 69th season and their 53rd in the San Francisco Bay Area. And then when I thought of that, I thought of the Golden Gate Bridge. So I did a little information on the Golden Gate Bridge. So I added up just a bunch of keywords or whatever, and basically, so bridge is 45. I talked about 45 going with 49, but Golden Gate Bridge is 135 or 90. 90 is 45 and 45. And Golden Gate is 45 and 45, or just plain 45. Interesting, then the Warriors actually has 49 in its name. And San Francisco has 49 if you add it up. California has 88. And I discovered that the 49 actually does have to do with time travel, and that's what the 88's all about. 88 miles an hour and Back to the Future, that's a big one. And the 49 I'll explain in a second. But 52 is also 1776 plus 88 plus 88 was 1952. Michael Jordan is 52 years old this year. And then Golden State Warriors adds up to the double 45 again. Also, we got 99 and 99, and 108 is 54 and 54, which is the Love reference. So, I mean, I'm not saying that Golden State's going to win, but they definitely have a lot of 49s and 45s surrounding them. And the Golden Gate Bridge, it gets really interesting because all of a sudden I'm finding tons and tons of references to the Golden Gate Bridge. And I'm going to post probably multiple videos tonight. But, crazy, weird stuff happens to me all the time now. I was talking about I bit my tongue, and right after that, something I was watching talked about biting a tongue. I was telling my girlfriend about how I think the Jeffrey Dahmer thing is fake today, and I came home A couple hours later, I got on YouTube, and my first recommended video was a video about Jeffrey Dahmer. And it literally, I never looked it up for ever. I don't even think I've ever even looked him up. He just came across in our discussion today. Just weird stuff all the time. I mean, I'm not even going to go into it, but it's almost like somebody's reading my freaking mind. I don't know how to explain it. Every time I think of something, I look up something and it's right there. Anyway, moving on with my rambling here. So, the Golden State Warriors are coached by Steve Kerr. Now, you might remember Steve Kerr from winning championships with Michael Jordan. Well, let's click on Steve Kerr here. Born in 65, and he is 49 years old. I mean, what are the odds of that? And he just got hired for this season or whatever. So he was hired May 14th, 2014. So this is his first year coaching them. You don't think they planned that he is 49 years old? Even more messed up is that I just literally looked this up right now because this guy, I found a basketball card on my floor when I was cleaning today, and it was Mark Jackson. And he was the coach last year. So I was like, all right, I better look him up after I looked up Steve Kerr. He literally turned 49 today. Like, literally, April 1st, he turned 49 today. That's weird that I found his basketball card laying on the floor. So then I looked up the 49th season of the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors' 49th season was the same season that Michael Jordan came out of retirement and wore number 45. So it was their 49th season and their 33rd in the San Francisco Bay Area. So 49 and 94, they're mirrored numbers, right? So this was the 94-95 season. So there's a mirror, but also check out their 49th game. Their 49th game was on February 18th, 1995. February 18th is the 49th day of the year, so their 49th game was on the 49th day of the year. And their 64th game was the first game back that Michael Jordan had played. Not against them, but it was the date of the first game that he came back and played. And it was the 64th, and they like to switch the 6s and the 9s, so it's literally like the mirror and the reverse, 64-49. I know, whatever, that's not as big of a deal to most people because they still don't believe it, but that's how they do it. Okay, so let's go even farther back of the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors used to be the Philadelphia Warriors, and they played, this says BAA, but it's actually considered in the NBA finals or whatever. And so anyway, they played basically in the first NBA finals, and they played against Chicago. I mean, I've talked about Michael Jordan, whatever. Chicago and Philadelphia are the Warriors and Chicago. Anyway, the NBA actually merged with the BAA in 1949. So, well, actually, it was called the National Basketball League, and it joined with the BAA, and they created the NBA. So, just to make that clear, I didn't want to screw anybody up. But it was after the 48-49 season, so it was the 49-50 season. So they actually merged in 1959 or 49. So another 49. So then, with all the Bill Murray stuff and whatnot, 67 has been very significant, and go figure, in 1967, the San Francisco Warriors won the NBA Finals. They beat the 76ers, the mirror of 67. So anyway, in the very last video I did, I was reading through the comments or whatever, and I just hadn't had time to post any of this about the Golden State Warriors. I looked a lot of it up the same night I posted this video. But anyway, I was scrolling through here, and on the comments, it says, pretty good, a bridge too far perhaps, which is very funny because I was thinking about the Golden Gate Bridge, and I never talked one word about it online. And then this guy writes, a bridge, or girl, I don't know, writes, a bridge too far perhaps. And then in some of these links here that I was supposed to look at, they were all about 5'11", and time travel. Like they talk about time travel on like page 511 of this book here, I think it is. This book on Amazon, and this is page 511, and it's all about time. But then on page 512, it's the Golden Gate Bridge. I mean, what are the odds of that? I'm just scrambling through here, and all of a sudden I see the Golden Gate Bridge like out of nowhere, and then somebody comments about a bridge too far. Um, and then I watched WrestleMania tonight. I finally found a link that actually works, and I could watch it. And it is all about San Francisco and the Golden Gate Bridge. And I will make a video uh, right after this. I plan on making it. So it's just ridiculous. And even my daughter, she was on the tablet that I bought her, and she messed up on something, and it went to Maps today, and they pulled up a plane trip to San Francisco. Now, I mean, what are the odds of that? That is the only thing that pops up. That's weird. I'm sorry for talking about it so much, but it just happens to me. I think of something, and then it is literally surrounds me like all day long. I'm not even looking for it. It's there. It's craziness. So anyway, let's look at the Golden Gate Bridge here. It is on 37 and 122. And where is it here? Oh, it was constructed in 1937, 77 years ago. So it opened May 27th, 1937, 77 years ago. And also, the Golden Gate Bridge links the U.S. city of San Francisco on the northern tip of San Francisco Peninsula to Marin County. So anyway, let's click on Marin County here. That's where it links to, and that's where like George Lucas and San Quentin Prison is. The Skywalker Ranch is. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's on there, but look when it was incorporated. February 18th, 1850. That's literally the 49th day of the year. Also thought it was kind of interesting that it says the county seat and the largest city is San Rafael. And I'm not going to go into it, but if you go back and watch some of my Ninja Turtle stuff with Raphael, like the painter, is all about time travel and whatnot. He was 37 when he died, a ton of 8s around him. He had the 2 psi's, with psi is 23, the Greek letter or whatever, but not, like I said, not going into it, but just found that interesting that was the name of the largest city. Anyway, I'm going to end this video right here. I'm going to talk about WrestleMania and a whole bunch of other stuff that's way more significant. I never did talk about why the 49 deals with time travel. I'll do that in the very beginning of the next video, so stay tuned. And yeah, I'm going to move on, like I said, but because I'm running out of time. But yep, stay tuned for the next video. The next video is going to be a ton better.